Brilliant, I think I'm live. Always a good start, isn't it? When your phone falls over. I hope everyone's okay, enjoying the beautiful sunshine. Wow, it's a right little heat wave, isn't it, at the moment? I think Oscar and I went to about 3 parks at the weekend. All good stuff. Yes, that might be better. Okay, got pinged off then, back online. Yeah, so hello, my name's Jen, Jen Edwards-Robinson from Burnout to Breakthrough, and every week I like to sit down for half an hour and, you know, sometimes I'm talking to myself because it's right now a Tuesday, everyone is at work, but this is my downtime, my little boy is at nursery, so this is when I can come live to you. And I just wanted to help people basically each week with stress, because I used to be a bad sufferer of stress. I never even used to realise the behavioural patterns that I'd be getting myself into. I experienced severe depression and anxiety through business burnout a few years ago, and I've actually learned a lot since then to get myself back into my optimum health. And I see it all around me, and it breaks me really, but a lot of people are walking around with a lot going on. They've got too many balls they're juggling in the air, and it's pretty crazy really, the stresses of modern day life. And this is why I'm here today and every week, to let you know that you can actually be addicted to stress, more on that later, and you can be suffering alone, which breaks me. I don't like to see that happen with people. And if you don't get on top of stress, if you leave stress unchecked, it can lead to a whole range of illnesses. Obviously I'm the extreme anxiety and severe depression, but it could lead to other things that we'll go through. So excuse me while I keep, bobbing my head up and down, but there's a little bit of a schedule to today. In 30 minutes, we're going to discuss in detail my services and how you can work with me if you wanted a free 30-minute booster session, a one-to-one online via Zoom. There's a couple of links that you can press here, find one of them and you can book me up and we can talk about your situations. I usually deal with hard-working professionals and busy entrepreneurs, but that's not limited to, but that is really my focus, because I've been running businesses now for coming up to 6 years. I've had businesses in China, England, and now I'm venturing onto the online world. So yeah, I have a lot to share with those who are fellow business owners out there and career focused people as well. Excuse me if I get a sweat touch on, because it's quite hot. I don't know why I put a shirt on today, but best not that I open my window, because yeah, it's quite loud out there at the moment. So yeah, so the first 5 minutes, we're edging on to 5 minutes now nearly, we're going to be talking about how you can get in contact with me. So if you wanted to work with me, again, like I mentioned, there's a couple of links here. You can also contact me via email. I'm at jen@bpmlabcoaching.com. I've got a website coming soon, but if you can catch me on Facebook, that'd be great for now. Just hashtag From Burnout to Breakthrough. And I'm also going to be launching a whole new YouTube channel. BPM, who I currently work with still, we have been on YouTube for like 4 or 5 years, but we've never actually used it, so we're going to separate it and do a whole new From Burnout to Breakthrough service. So watch out for that, details to follow. It's going to be little how-to videos on how you can get yourself out of your rut, or get yourself back into control if you're experiencing high volumes of stress. And also we'll talk about what the modern day stresses are in today's modern world. The 5 to 10 minute mark will be talking about a little bit more about me. We're going to dive deep into my story and where my passion to now help people like yourself comes from. I want to explain just a little bit about my background, how I got myself into the trap of business burnout, depression and anxiety, and how I got myself out of it. Oh, excuse me, hair in my mouth. And yeah, following on to the 10 to 15 minute mark of today's 30 minutes, we're going to be going through the 4 steps. Oh, I think my cat wants to come in, 1 sec. Giving you a right headache there, see, the phone fell down again. Modern technology. Hey, there we are. See, that's the thing about these Facebook Lives. Connection has to be solid, and it usually is, but today for some reason it's not working. and my phone keeps falling down, so and then between 5 and 20 minutes we'll go through steps 1 and 2 that helps you get out of your rut and get back into control, enjoy a happier home and work life. The 20 to 25 minute mark will be discussing steps 2 and 4. And then, if there are any questions, you don't have to, send one now when I'm live. You may not even see this until you get back from finishing work today. But yeah, just drop me a line again via Facebook or jenna@bpmlabcoaching.com. So, first of all, I'm going to ask, as always, do you remember, or are you actually ever... Oh, my cat wants to come in. Hannah, come on. Come in. Come on. Oh dear. Always wants a nose, eh? Look. Meow. Oh. Okay, don't get any peace. Have you ever, everything seems to flow and go your way and everything falls into place and works out the way you want it to? Are you there right now? That is the question. If you are, fantastic. I mean, everyone has been in those situations. And this is what I like to call you being in your sweet spot. However, a lot of people, and it's crazy really, and it breaks me to see people not in their flow, but the common and most consistent factor that interferes with what I call flow is stress. Now, stress is everywhere nowadays. It's hard, isn't it, in today's modern world? We've got businesses, or we've got high-powered careers, and we've got the family, and we've got the family commitments, and we've got all these balls that we're juggling in the air, and we're just trying to achieve everything that we set out to achieve, and it can be quite tough to find that balance. We always hear that balance is the key, but it's so hard to get that balance right, and you could be sort of business heavy and maybe neglecting your family, or it could be the other way round and your business isn't moving forward because you've got too much going on in your family. And there's only one of us, or a small amount of people when it comes to a family unit trying to run a business and all the fun things in between. And it's hard, it can be a struggle. And stress seems to be our friend nowadays, and the quote I like to use a lot is 75 to 90% of all doctor visits are due to stress-related illnesses. I mean, that's just crazy. And back in 2016, the amount of working days lost due to stress was 11.7 million. And last year, 2017, 12.5 million. And obviously it's just going to increase. So to me, there's a massive epidemic happening right now where we're just walking around dealing with so much stress, and most of the time we don't even realise how stressed we are until we realise when it's too late, a bit like me, because you just keep pushing yourself forward, you keep overloading yourself with X, Y and Z, and before you know it, you're struggling. And the effects of stress can be pretty damaging, and it can affect all areas of your life. It can affect your family life, your work life, your business, all areas really, in your health. I know that one for sure. So basically what happens when we're stressed? So the fear mechanism in the brain is called the amygdala, and when we're stressed, this then kicks off and sends chemical and electrical signals to the motor cortex, which is our ability to take action. So in times of stress, we either freeze, fight, or run away. And hands up, I am a little bit of a fighter. That's my reaction. I just want to just sort things out now and just get on to the next thing, because I feel I've got so much going on at any one time. And you might find your partner or your business partner, colleague, may not be able to handle it in the same way as you. There might be a bit of conflicts there. And a lot of people can also just, walk away from the situation. I'll deal with it tomorrow. Oh, okay, let's pick this up next week. That sort of thing. So, that can be a very common reaction to stress. So don't feel bad if you're in a repeated pattern of that. But what people don't tend to realise is that stress can be addictive for the brain. Those chemicals that are released in the times of stress, they can actually be very addictive. So what you might find if you are in a pattern or in a situation or just have a life full of stuff and you've overloaded yourself, you just end up getting addicted to all these chemicals, because you're just, without realising, just looking for stress to feed yourself off that adrenaline. It's quite crazy. So it's like, in my experience, I can only talk about my experience right now, but yeah, I've had to learn the hard way. So when I was in this repeated pattern of getting stressed out, burning myself out through all the business commitments I had, and then basically falling into anxiety patterns and depression, it was my body trying to tell me, Jen, look, you need to stop. You need to change the way you do things. You need to change the way you approach your situations, because I'm just going to keep giving you depression until you actually get yourself out of that rut. So that's what my body was trying to tell me, and that's what I'm trying to tell you, that don't ignore the signs of stress. If you are coming out in a rash or erratic behaviour, or your emotions are up and down and you're up and down like a yo-yo, you're changing a little bit, you're quite you get quite agitated quite quickly, which isn't really who you are as a person. You're in overwhelm, or you're in fear of the future, or both. I mean, these are very common effects of stress, and it could lead to other problems, heart problems, and I mentioned skin conditions, but there are actually studies that leads to cancer as well, but that's a bit too extreme. I'm not talking about that, but yeah. It's everywhere, isn't it? And a lot of people are suffering in silence, which again breaks me. So a little bit more about me and why I'm here today, and why my passion to help people, where that comes from. So back in 2012, I was out in China with John Robinson, and we had this amazing business. It was all hunky-dory, but you know, the success of the business was rising, and we did really well. Won Best Gym in Shanghai a couple of times. It was all great. Money was coming in, and you know, I was doing what I love, which is spinning. If those who know me, I love to spin. And you know, I was, you know, really enjoying the rates of success. However, behind the scenes, business was going that way, and my health and mental health was just going that way. I was just in this pattern of just getting really down, and you know, in bed. And I think the longest time I had in bed was 10 days, and then I had a couple of days when I felt myself, came back up for fresh air, as it were, and then I went straight back down again. So you know, it's quite a hard time, because being expats, when you have no family support, or you know, I had a great friend network, but when you get that low, you don't first of all know what it is that you're struggling with. And you feel you can't reach out to people, because everyone's got their own stuff going on. You don't want to be like this burden on someone else's life. So it was tough, and I was getting misdiagnosed. I was told I had labyrinthitis by an ENT specialist, ears, nose and throat specialist, and you know, I had an MRI scan, or a couple actually, acupuncture, and they just didn't know what was going on, and lesions on the brain were found, and it was all like, quite horrific stuff. And in that time, I was just getting more and more frustrated, because I just weren't getting to the bottom of it. And my first bout of labyrinthitis lasted about 9 weeks, and it was absolutely crazy. It was really tough for me, and it's really tough for John. It was just tough for everyone around me, and you know, and then I think towards the end of like trying to find out what it was that I was struggling with, China were telling me I had MS. So, okay, on that note, I went back to the UK, and I saw the professionals here, and it took about a year and a half to diagnose me correctly, but I had depression. So, yeah, what was going on was that I was just burning myself out and struggling with the severe effects of stress, and my body was just like shutting me down. So yeah, that went on for a few years actually, and it was tough. And you know, when you've got a problem such as depression, most of the time in the UK, we go to the doctors and we say what we're experiencing. They don't usually have a lot of time to sit down and really work out what you're experiencing. It's sort of a one-size-fits-all, it can be. I mean, no disrespect to the doctors at all, but unfortunately I was only offered one method, and that was tablets, antidepressants. And I'm not against, you know, taking antidepressants, but rooted deep down within, that just wasn't the path for me. I don't know why, I just felt it just wasn't the right path for me. And I was saying to my doctor, who's unfortunately now passed away, doctor, I'm not here for tablets. I want to know what's going on. I want to know, you know, if there's like a stress management course or something I can go on. He said, well, I'm really sorry, but there's nothing else that I can offer apart from these. So I was grateful, you know, to be seen and, you know, speaking to someone professional. Took the tablets, put them in my bag, but didn't touch them. I just, for some reason, wanted to really dive in deep as to, you know, what I could do, what natural resources there were for me to use without using medication. And again, I'm not against medication, it has a place for sure, but that's just me. So that leads on to me saying to you, if you are just completely at a head with like these negative impacts of stress, you know, if you're getting the severe debilitating headaches, you know, the migraines are, you know, just coming on way too strong, and the anxiety's getting out of control, and you're just overthinking about everything, and you know that you just feel like you're always on eggshells all the time and nervous about just stuff that shouldn't really make you feel nervous. And again, if you're having problems with your emotions for some unknown reason, I mean, you can just get emotional like a drop of a hat when you're really experiencing chronic stress. If you find that your relationships, whether at work, at home or both, are just getting a bit too tense and it's damaging your productivity in the family and work sense, if you just don't feel yourself anymore, if you know there's something odd that's going on and you can't quite work out what that is, I am here to help you, because I've been there. I've seen it all, done it all, felt it all, and I've discovered depression from the inside and out. And I remember once when I was really low, I remember thinking objectively, God, what is this? What is this that I'm, you know, experiencing? Because it's me, but it's not me. And then obviously people see you as you, but and you're trying to tell that person within that I'm just trying to cope with something here. I can't understand what it is. So yeah, if that's you, then yeah, again, I've been there. You're not alone, and I want you to know that there's hope, because yeah, that's definitely a rut that you're in, if that's you right now, and a rut that you can definitely get out of. Sorry, just me. You can definitely get out of it. So if you want to feel less stressed at work, you want to get out of the rut, you want a happier life at home or at work, if you want to lead the life that you've just been trying really hard to lead, and you just want to feel like yourself again, then yep, carry on, watch me, and send me a question at any time. It's really good just to know where people are and if I can help in any way. And remember, we do have that 30-minute booster session online. If you wanted to, it's all for free. Just click on the link and we can talk in more detail when you have some time your side. So I've got a 4-step process that has helped, and it helps me and now my existing clients get out of where they don't want to be into where they want to be. So step 1 is called Accepting Burnout and Breakthrough. Accepting Burnout and Preparing to Break Through. You have to accept where you are. You have to accept you've got to make change, and you have to be prepared to make the changes in order to see the change you want to see in your life. If you are not in that position and you just think that, it's just something else you've got to do on your to-do list, then obviously I am not for you right now. This booster session online live on Facebook isn't for you right now. But yes, if you want to get back to me later on down the line, great, because I only work with people that are doers who actually want to see the change in their life. So, and my step 2 of my methodology is Bye Burnout and Breakthrough. So in step 1 we would have worked out where you are, and step 2 it's all about actually implementing these tools and techniques that have helped me, that are now helping my clients, and that can see you say, okay, goodbye, I know where I've been in my time, I know how to approach it head on, and I'm just getting good at what I do, so I can continue increasing my optimum health for a happier future. Step 3 is the balancing act. So you know all what you need to do. You've got all the tools in your toolbox. You're getting into practice now, and the balancing act is all about just literally cutting down the areas in your life that you just cannot deal with or are not that important to you, or basically shift your focus. What you really want to hone in on is what you feel happy about, or what you can be grateful about, and what you can just improve with ease. So that's the balancing act of step 3. And step 4 is boom. Now, okay, it sounds a little bit cheesy, but that's when you've got the power back. That's when you are back in your game. That is when you are experiencing, at that point, flow. Now, this 4-step process, you can see results instantly depending on the stressful situation that you're in. If you are in an absolute pickle with 1 or 2 situations, results can be seen in a good couple of weeks. Obviously, a big commitment is needed on your side. And definitely the programs that I offer can see you through a whole load of stress that could come into the near future, because we're never really exempt from stress. There's always something around the corner that we're not quite prepared for. But as long as you keep implementing these 4 steps, you'll be fine. Trust me, I've been there. So that's a 4-step formula. How do we actually do this? Well, I believe all you need is cardio, strength, balance and good nutrition for vitality in your life. You have to have the cardio. You have to really get yourself, not necessarily to the gym. I mean, all these 4 resources are free. You can actually use them for free if you wanted to. You can obviously enhance them in any way, shape or form, and pay extra to get, more of a enjoyment out of the 4 resources. But, for cardio, for example, you can just go out and simply walk or try running. It's a great stress buster, and it regulates your weight, and all in all really does help with your stress levels. Your strength, easy to implement. You don't have to necessarily go and see a physiologist or do strength training at the gym. You can do floor-based exercises at home. John Robinson is amazing at helping you if you've got back and neck pain, and he can guide you throughout any pains you might have. But in a nutshell, you can obviously go to the gym and enhance your experience on the strength side, but you have to be comfortable in your own skin. I mean, us busy entrepreneurs and hard-working professionals, we've got so much to do, and we need so much energy to do as much as what we need to do on our to-do list. And you have to be comfortable in your skin. I mean, I've just spent the last couple of days really working hard on my Mac, and I'm sort of paying for it now. We're all sitting on our desks for long periods of time, and it can get a little bit tiresome on the body. You just have to simply get up and keep moving, keep moving. It's so simple, but if you've got the traits similar to me, you're a high achiever and a bit of a perfectionist, you can just lose being online, can't you? So it's all about being very good and strict on yourself, and taking those regular breaks from the computer. So for every hour, for example, of work, take... Oh, we went off then. Okay, and the 3rd resource is balance, my personal favourite. Now, balance is all about, for me anyway, and I'm a massive advocate for it, is meditation. That completely got me out of my darkest days. Meditation... Yeah, keep jumping off on internet there. Meditation is amazing. So, yeah, as mentioned, got me out of my darkest days. And it's free, and it's so powerful, and it's so simple. However, it's not easy. It really isn't easy. But the principles is a, it's a very simple technique to use. You could also just carve out some you time in your day. I mean, that is a simple way to add that balance into your life. All you need to do is be really strict on yourself and just, allocate half an hour in the morning or half an hour in the evening. That's what I do. Especially if you've got a family and a business, it's quite hard to allocate time in the working day. But yeah, I'm a firm believer that internet is just crazy today. You just need to sit down and just chill. And you need to really invest time in yourself, because once you start feeling better, your stress levels start coming down. Your body then realises, okay, I'm not in danger, there's no predators around, I don't need to use my primal type, fear mechanism function that I've got in my brain. And then, things just start to ease up a little bit. Decluttering is a good thing as part of a balanced life as well. So, yeah, it's it's good to actually say no to people, you know. If you're completely overwhelmed and you're still taking on more projects at work or more responsibility in your business, yeah, you've got to stop that. You've got to learn the power of the word no. And yeah, it's all about looking out for yourself, because if you start feeling good within, then everything else projected outside will start looking better for you as well. And the fourth resource is good nutrition. Now, good nutrition is obviously a no-brainer. We feed off the great food, you know, the energy that comes from eating well. I always like to say, eat rainbow-coloured food. That's always good, because if you're looking at your plate and it's full of beige food, you know, you've got to change that because you're going wrong there. And it regulates your weight, and it's just amazing. You look better and you feel better. So good nutrition is definitely a very good resource, and that's why it's my fourth resource to use when struggling with stress. So that's me. That is my 4-step methodology and my 4 resources for vitality in your life. Now, again, if you are struggling with stress, I feel for you, because you're not alone. I mean, the stats says loud and clear that a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people don't even realise how stressed they are, and a lot of people are walking around addicted to stress and they don't even know. And what does that lead to? That can lead to damaged relationships. It can affect your business, can affect your working productivity at work. So it's really good to get a handle on stress. And yeah, hands up, I've been there, and I'm really willing to help you. So yeah, if you want to join me in our free 30-minute booster session online together, the link is in this Facebook Live, and I'll be very much looking forward to helping you on your journey to your optimum health. Okay then, enjoy the sunshine and see you soon. Oh, and here's